Welcome to Lead with Clarity. This is a space for leaders who want to grow without losing themselves in the process. Each episode is a short reflection on leadership, influence, and the inner work that shapes how we show up for others. It's not hype, it's not noise, just clear thinking for the journey of leading well. Today's episode is entitled Courage Starts with Being Seen, the visibility responsibility that every leader carries. Here we go. There's a pattern I've watched repeat itself across executive teams for years. Brilliant people, high performers, leaders with genuine vision and real capability. And yet, somewhere along the way, they made a quiet, unspoken decision to operate from a distance, to stay one step removed from the conversations where their presence was most needed. That's not a talent problem, that's a visibility problem. And today's episode is about that. Brené Brown said it simply. Courage starts with showing up and letting ourselves be seen. 6 words carry the real weight. Letting ourselves be seen. Not performing, not projecting, being seen. That distinction matters more than most leaders realize. Most high-achieving leaders get to the executive level by being right more often than they're wrong. The system rewards certainty. It rewards precision. It rewards having the answer before the meeting starts. So, over time, leaders develop a pattern. They wait until they're sure. They wait until the picture is clear. They hold back in the room, calibrate, observe, and they tell themselves this is wisdom. In many cases, they're wrong. What they're actually doing is protecting themselves from being seen at the wrong moment, from being caught mid-thought, from having their reasoning visible before it's fully formed. And the cost of that is enormous because the team isn't watching the decision, they're watching the decision-making. They're watching to see if you'll enter the room with them or watch from the door. Here's where people get this quote wrong. They hear showing up and being seen, and they think Brown is calling for vulnerability as performance. They think this means sharing more, being more open, posting on LinkedIn about your childhood or your failures. That's not it at all. And that framing actually pulls leaders in the wrong direction. Visibility isn't emotional disclosure. It's presence with intention. It's the willingness to be in the conversation as yourself, not as a polished version of yourself, at the moment the conversation requires it. The reframe I offer to the leaders I coach is this. Courage isn't about being fearless, it's about being present despite the fear. Showing up doesn't mean you have all the answers. It means you're willing to be in the room without them. It means your team can see how you reason, not just what you conclude. It means when the pressure is highest, you don't disappear into process or delegation, or silence. That kind of presence is contagious. When a senior leader models uncertainty well, meaning they show up into it rather than hiding from it, teams follow. They stop waiting for certainty before they engage. They start thinking out loud. They start trusting the process because they trust the person leading it. That's how psychological safety actually gets built, not through workshops or policies. Through leaders who are willing to be seen. Here's what I'd like for you to sit with this week. Think about the conversations you've been managing from a distance. The ones where you've been staying quiet a beat too long. The ones where your absence, even in the room, has been louder than your presence. Now ask yourself, is that caution serving your team or is it serving your comfort? There's a version of leadership that looks measured and strategic, and there's a version it's just avoidance in a good suit. Knowing the difference is one of the most important things you can learn at this level. Brené Brown gave us a deceptively simple line. Courage starts with showing up and letting ourselves be seen. What she's actually describing is one of the foundational acts of executive leadership. The willingness to enter the conversation as a full participant, not a referee, not an observer, but a leader. Your team doesn't need a perfect leader. They need a present one. The courage to be seen, to be known, to be in it with them. That's the thing no strategy document can replace. Show up, let yourself be seen, start there.